Hi guys, so today's practice is all around the theme vulnerability. So I think it's safe to say that when you're on a yoga journey, whether you're just here for the physical practice or if you're here for the more emotional side of it as well, either way there is a level of vulnerability that comes into it. I think for me, what I struggled with the most is in society, and I just think that we're really socially conditioned to believe from a young age that being vulnerable is a sign of weakness, and we kind of equate vulnerability with weakness. And then, when you really take a step back and you look at it, vulnerability is actually an incredible strength. To be able to be vulnerable is so powerful. It just helps you, first of all, be more real, because nobody is okay 100% of the time. That's just crap. When you're vulnerable, you're a superhero. You are able to be more aware and receptive of others, and you're also opening the door for others to be vulnerable as well. They can see your vulnerability, and it's contagious. Other people will kind of get this feeling, hey, it actually is okay. Or, hey, she's not weak at all. She's really freaking strong. So just remember, whenever you are having a little moment or you're feeling down on yourself, remember that being vulnerable, first of all, is part of the process, and it is a strength, not a weakness. So today's practice is all about just kind of opening up to that vulnerability, and our most vulnerable place is our heart. So you can expect a lot of heart opening asanas or postures. We're actually going to begin today's class a little different. So we are going to begin in our Shavasana. So you can come to your Shavasana as you're ready, your corpse pose, laying all the way down. Extend the feet out, open them nice and wide. Draw the shoulder blades down the spine. Let the hands fall wherever feels comfortable. And just take a couple breaths here. Notice if you're holding or gripping anywhere, and just any little movement to reduce or relieve that tension. And we'll take a couple seconds here, and we'll just meditate on this word or reflect on the word vulnerability and what it means to you to be vulnerable. And if it's negative in your mind, let's use this time to kind of reroute that and make vulnerable a powerful word, a strong word, a strong emotion. And after you've reflected or meditated on this word for a few breaths, we'll bring our feet and just plant them in the earth, bringing the knees all the way up. And however feels good for you, however you want to do this, go for it. We'll just rock. You may look funny. I know I look funny when I'm doing it. We'll just rock all the way up to our seated position. And when we're here, we'll we can start with the left. So we'll bring the left heel all the way in, and we'll extend the right. So when we're sitting here, of course, with the palms of the hands, we can move the fleshy bits of the bum away and really ground down through our sit bones. You should really feel kind of it's not polite, but like, you feel your sit bones kind of just grounding down. Our left foot is nice and flexed, so it's not just here chilling, but we have it nice and flexed because when we flex our foot, when our knee is bent, it protects our knee, and we're all about protection, not about hurting ourselves. Our our right leg is extended, and again, not just chilling here, but nice and strong. Heel is digging down. So your, what do you call this again? Your width, I guess. However far out you're willing to put your leg, listen to your body. So for some of us who can do the split, I absolutely can't. We can go all the way out to the side. For the rest of us, we're maybe going to want to be, if we're straight in front, we just take it out about 45 degrees out to the side. We're sitting up nice and tall. We'll take a nice deep breath in and we'll extend the hands all the way up. And exhale, we'll fold forward, Jana Shavasana, head to knee or chest to thigh. So we're just folding, and we don't need to be folded all the way over. Here's where we fold. Here's where we fold. This is completely your practice. This is your body. Of course, the more consistent you are, the more your flexibility will come. So stick with it if that's what you're after. But just listen to your body. We'll come up onto the fingertips wherever your fingertips are. And open up the chest. Send the chest forward. Exhale, we'll deepen our stretch if we can. I know my feet are really dirty. I'm feeling really self-conscious about it, but it's okay. Just a couple more breaths here. In our head to knee pose. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And on our exhale, also through the nose, we'll slowly roll all the way back up to sitting. From here, we'll just bring the right foot in, and the sole of the right foot meets the left. We'll interlace our fingertips and bring them underneath the toes, and we'll just flutter the thighs a little bit. Butterfly pose. I think you guys know this is one of my favorites. I love butterflies. They're a symbol of transformation. And whenever you're ready, we can release the hands. Hug in the left foot as we extend out our left. Again, you can move the fleshy bits of the bum away. Nice flex right foot, protecting the knee. Left foot is nice and active as well. We're sitting up nice and tall. We'll inhale the hands all the way up. And exhale, take it over, head to knee. Or chest to, or head to chest. Head to chest doesn't make sense. Head to thigh, sorry. We're just stretching here, so you should feel a nice side body stretch here in the right side. And be mindful of if you feel your right sit bones lifting. And if you do, just come back up a little bit. So you don't want to be over here and then everything's lifted up. You want to be nice and planted on the floor. And we'll work on getting a little closer to the foot every time we do this practice, or this pose. We want to make sure that the right hip is grounded down. And we'll come up onto the fingertips, lengthen the spine, open up the heart, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we'll deepen our fold. Inhale, nice big breath in. Exhale, slowly roll all the way up. And of course, they're going to take butterfly again, so we can just bring the soles of the feet together, interlace the fingertips below the toes, and we'll just flutter, sitting up nice and tall. Be mindful of if you are arching the spine here, and just sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. From here, we'll dive straight onto our all fours, coming to our tabletop position. Wrists are stacked directly under shoulders. Knees are about hip distance apart here. And their knees are stacked over the hips. Tops of the toes are actually curled under. Let's curl them under. Take a nice deep breath in and really press away from your mat. So be mindful of if we're slouching here in the shoulders, and just draw the shoulders away from the ears. And on our exhale, we'll hinge our hips up and back. Ooh, for our first downward dog. So pedal out the feet. Take a couple breaths here. Our heels are pulling to the back of our mat. Breathing into our rib cage, extending out the rib cage either side. Making space in our armpit chest. That's kind of right here. We want to make some space right about here. Melting the heart back. And on your next inhale, we'll just simply step the right foot up between the top of the hands, and we'll lower the left knee. We can keep the left toes tucked here, or we can untuck them. Yogi's choice, whatever feels good for you. And inhale, we'll rise up to our Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. We want to make sure that our hips are square to the front of the mat. So really pull this right hip back. Press into the top of that left foot, and I'll kind of give you the balance of squaring the hips. Draw the shoulders down the back, move them away from the ears, create some space there. Exhale, we'll send the fingertips down, come up onto the fingertips. We can keep the left foot, the top of the left foot pressing into the earth, or we can curl it under, completely your choice. And we'll send the hips all the way back, peeling the toes up towards the sky. For our runners, stretch here. And remember, we can of course keep as big a bend in the knees as we need. And we want to keep the hips nice and square. So just notice if the hips are kind of leaning over to the left side. And just come back to center and keep a bigger bend in the knee, if that's the case. Inhale, roll forward, plant the palms, lift up the left leg, send the right toes back. Take a nice deep breath in, forever cracking. Exhale, we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Again, pedal out the feet. Really just take a couple breaths in our dog here. Melt the chest and the heart back to the thighs. Meet yourself wherever you are. And on our inhale, we'll step the left leg up to the top and lower the right knee. Untuck the right toes. Pull the left hip back and the right hip forward. So we're squaring the hips. Left knee is directly over the ankle. Just be mindful of if your knee is over, going way over, and just draw it back. Beautiful. Press into the top of that right foot as we inhale our hands up. Make space between the ears and the shoulders. Exhale, we'll send the hands down. We can either tuck the right toes under or leave them flat. But whatever you did on the left side, be sure to do on the right. And we'll send the hips all the way back, peeling the sole of the foot and the toes up towards the sky. For our runner's stretch here. Keeping as big a bend in the knee as we need. Not worrying about how other people's runner stretch looks. Not comparing. There's no competition. We're holding space and meeting ourselves exactly where we are. There's a level of vulnerability in that. We can't hide. We can't tell ourselves lies. We know where we are. So welcome it. Inhale, we'll roll forward, plant the palms, pick up the right foot. Send the left toes all the way back to your plank. Hold it steady here. Take a nice deep breath in. And on our exhale, we'll meet in our down dog. We'll really settle into our down dog here, and we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So breathing in through the nose, extending the rib cage out either side, sending the breath down towards the belly, and exhaling it all out through the nose. Last one, nice deep breath in, and exhale. We'll bring the knees down towards the mat. Now, at this point, if you have a block or a cushion or a towel, anything that you can use, please feel free. I'll use my cushion here to show you guys. So we're in our tabletop position here. We'll tuck the toes under, and we'll just come up to this kneeling stance here. Very important, keep the toes tucked under, and we're really going to press into the toes, and that's going to help ground us down. So you can bring your cushion or your towel and just place it in between your legs, and guys, get all up in there. The higher, the better. So we're grounding down through our knees, pressing into our toes, squeeze the thighs together, and we'll bring our hands to rest on either side of our hip bones. Grounding down through the knees again, squeezing our cushion or block, squeezing the elbows together, opening up the heart. Inhale, take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, we just bend ever so slightly back. Ustrasana, camel pose. Just be mindful of if you're tilting your head way too far back. You want to be able to breathe completely normally with no strain here. And everybody's Ustrasana is going to be different. Some people can be here. Some will be all the way back here. Wherever you are, make sure that you're squeezing your thighs together. One more breath here, opening up your heart, opening up to vulnerability, and the courage that comes with it. And exhale, we'll come all the way back. Remove your block or cushion. Come down to our tabletop position. Walk the knees out nice and wide, bringing the 2 big toes to touch. We'll send the hips all the way back and we'll walk the hands out for our extended child's pose, Balasana. And take a couple breaths here, really pulling the hips all the way back. Fingertips reaching forward. We'll bring the palms together and just inhale them up. Coming up to the elbows. Giving thanks to ourselves for allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. It's not easy, so be proud of yourself. And remember that being vulnerable is a strength. If you'd like, you can take your Shavasana pose here for a few breaths, or you can stay in your child's pose, whatever feels comfortable for you. I hope you guys have a really beautiful day.